right. We are back on another episode of the Marketing Medic podcast. But today we have a very special guest. He wants me to call him Rachid, so I will call him Rachid, even though I feel honored to call him Doctor, you know? So Rachid, man, thank you for joining. Rachid, if you don't know, is the founder of the Thyme Machine Cafe, a growing business empire. I mean, these trucks are everywhere. I believe did I see some restaurant brick and mortar locations also?
Yes, we just started our brick and mortar is in New Jersey, New Brunswick, and they are doing fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful, man, beautiful. So, Rashid, let's talk a little bit, man. You have a very wide range of a resume, right? You're in the medical field. You're from Lebanon, right? And you moved to Boston, and you attended Harvard, correct?
Yes, I
Um,
did my training from Harvard.
okay, right. And so, and you're in the medical field. Why restaurant business? What brings you to food and beverage?
Okay, so let me tell you the story of Time Machine so you can get a grasp of why it's called Time Machine and why it's a food truck. So I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother, my parents work all the time, and my grandmother used to live with us. So I was kind of more raised with my grandmother rather than with my parents. And my grandmother didn't trust really the healthcare system in Lebanon or in general, the healthcare system. So she really wanted me to become her healer in the future. Whenever she gets sick, she would trust me in taking care of her health. And then when I decided to become a doctor and when I moved to the States, you become so busy that you don't really are close to the family as you used to be in Lebanon. And while I was applying for my green card and my immigration process, I was stuck in the States because I couldn't leave. And in that period, she passed away, and I couldn't even travel back to Lebanon to say goodbye. And I felt very bad. I felt like I disappointed her, and I was not up to the task. So 5 years later, when I became a citizen, and I moved to Miami, and things were well off. I wanted to diversify my investment portfolio, and I wanted to start something that means to me, that has a meaning. And I wanted to honor her. And I've been always a fan of time. I studied physics pre-med at the American University of Beirut. So I was always a fan of Einstein and the time relativity and the Heisenberg equation and all those nice physics concepts. And I really wanted to travel back in time to eat from her food.
Mm,
And I've always been a fan of all those like stories about time machines and how you can travel through stars. And we ended up creating a time machine, but time was written as in THYME. And the
mhm.
machine is the food truck because I have zero experience in the food industry. And
Okay.
it would be a low risk investment. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, worst case, you would sell the food truck.
Right. Right.
And it kicked off really well. And I used all her recipes. I traveled to Lebanon. I learned more about how they do the authentic thing, and I transported the sage, which is the griddle that is concave, in a suitcase, and I,
Wow.
I I shipped it to the States with me. And we started like this, very simple, with like 3, 4 items on the menu, and we opened in Miami, and literally this thing kicked off really well. And slowly, slowly, after a year, people were saying, "Hey, we want you in this city. We want you in New Jersey. We want you in Boston. We want you in New York. We want you in LA." Everybody was so hyped about it. So I'm like, "Okay, look, guys, I have so many things on my plate. I just can't do it by myself.
Hmm.
And so let's build a movement around this." So
Mm,
everybody showed interest, and I wanted this to grow very fast. So the investment to start a time machine is very, very, very low, which is a $10,000 franchise fee and a 5% royalty fees, which is non-existent in the franchise world
at all.
uh,
At all.
at all. And so basically, you can buy your own food truck, or we can help you. We will connect you to some manufacturer that we work with, that we trust, and the food trailer would cost around 41,000, with all the warranties of all the kitchen equipment. And my team, who is remote, who is part in Lebanon, part in the States, will help you. We'll teach you the recipes. We'll do the marketing for you, and we will walk with you every step of the way so you can be successful.
Oh
So this is
man.
like basically in brief the story. It's a story of meaning, of personal meaning, of personal touch that really touched so many hearts, and we are growing, and I'm very happy about that.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful story, man. So, right, that's everybody's dream, right? To launch a food and beverage concept or restaurant, whether it be brick and mortar or truck, and then start to
Yeah,
grow, right? But we know
yeah,
we're in trying times, right? Restaurant business is extremely hard, right?
so
Especially
hard.
right now as we record this, we're in what I call the summer slaughter, right? Summertime is really hard. Business slows down. Just talked to a Chick-fil-A yesterday and they're like, oh, we're down 22% in sales, right? It's like, you know, the industry, that's what happens. I want to
Right.
hear about what are some of the toughest lessons that you've learned growing the time machine, right? Because you are operating on an amazing level, right? I think you're an inspiration to any restaurant owners that might be listening to this. Not only just you're running a food truck business, which in some cases might be even harder than a restaurant, right? Dealing with permits and all things like that. So tell me
Right.
about some of those lessons that you've learned.
So look, in my case, having a food truck and not being operating it in person is a different beast. So you have to rely on people. You have to make sure you have a culture, a strong culture. You have to make sure that your staff has have your back,
Hmm.
and you have to have aligned incentives between all your team. This is the recipe for a successful business that is working without the owner being on the business all the time.
Hmm.
I am now in Lebanon. Even if I'm in the States, I'm working on something else. So I'm rarely on the business.
Hmm.
I am on the business just to eat and just to network, basically.
Yeah,
So,
right. Hmm.
so I like to enjoy the networking aspect of the business. Now, in in terms of building a strong culture and a strong team, you give the autonomy to the staff to take their own decisions, and you make sure that those decisions are aligned with the goals of the business. If we win, everybody wins together. If we lose, everybody loses together. Everybody is flexible with their own schedule. Everybody puts their own schedule. We put like it's like an Airbnb system. We have these slots that are available, and you can book them just like you book an Airbnb.
Hmm.
So there is no scheduling issues. Everybody know what they have to do. First come, first serve. If you are good at your job, you get more shifts. If we get like bad customer reviews or bad issues that are happening, you get less shifts. And believe it or not, I know it's a hype, but it's real with us. We use AI agents to make sure that we don't overstep our boundaries in terms of labor cost, in terms of
Mm.
food cost. So
Okay.
basically,
Can I can
we
I
have code.
stop you right
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah,
Please.
yeah, yeah. Go
Please,
ahead.
because this is
Go
very
ahead. Go ahead.
interesting, right?
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like sometimes I'm living in the prehistoric age when I'm talking to restaurant owners and they're not
yeah, yeah,
using AI in their business. So
yeah.
you're using AI to help manage labor cost and inventory costs and things like that so that you guys, like you said, don't overstep your boundaries. I think that's genius. Can you talk a little bit about that? What gave you the idea
Yeah.
to or deploy AI into your business?
So my goal is to be as little as possible in the business. I want to be on the business rather than being in the business. So I needed to have some limits of, like if I were to take a decision, can someone else take that decision knowing that they have the same goals as me? So, and during COVID, when the medical business were a little bit down, I went and I learned how to no code. So using no code services like Airtable and Software and create my own workflows and use like make.com and like
Yep.
other things
Hmm.
so I can create
Yes.
my own things. And this is how I create my own website, my own other businesses, that entrepreneur.io business and everything. So I was so much deep into how to code and how to create workflows. And I'm like, okay, if we can create this for other businesses, Time Machine is also a business and they need automation. So why don't we create an automation system that actually helps manage the staff, manage the cost, and manage the inventory? and I don't have to pay any software a monthly fee to do this, because this will
Hmm.
drain us as a food truck. A food
Hmm.
truck, uh, the less cost you do, the more profit margins you make.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, let me take a month and learn how to do all this and automate my decision making through an AI agent that can really try to limit the staff hours, try to limit the cost of the food that we order, and can calculate how much we are selling and how much we have in storage or like
Hmm.
inside the inventory. And of course, we account for 5% or 10% loss,
Of
staff
course.
food, or like, let's say if a customer is not happy about his food, we give him another food from the house. So
Hmm.
we have margins of like, say, what could go wrong or what can happen, because
Yeah.
we are working in an imperfect world. Humans are imperfect, so we can't just have AI which are perfect manage
Hmm.
imperfect people. So we have to
Right.
account for imperfections as well in this. And to be honest with you, I will tell you a very bold statement. Since we opened till today, no staff missed their shift.
Wow.
We never closed. We are open 24/7 every day of the year, even on holidays. And actually, staff prefer to work every day because this is the opportunity for them to make more money. So we don't have an incentive to close, because all our incentive as a team is to make more money, sell more food, and grow our careers or our businesses. So when everybody is aligned, when everybody's winning, there is no limits in it. You
Wow.
keep wanna winning, win and win and win. And this is the culture and this is the technology that we share with all our franchisee, that we sign up and that join our movement, because it's a movement. We don't do things the normal way. We innovate, we create ways that actually nobody has thought about. And some software have already these incorporated in them, but they charge 200, 300,
Yep.
$500 a
Yes.
month for them,
Yes.
or per
Yes.
call, or per shift, or like a payroll
Yes.
service, or like a staff
Hmm.
management service. And then you
Hmm.
end up paying 1,000, 1,500 per month just to do everything.
Right.
While being a franchisee, you do it that way. We are having a birthday here.
I can still hear you. I can't hear the music. It's fine. I can hear you.
Oh, perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, yeah, that's basically it.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's a sign of a great franchise. Because my agency and we work with restaurants, right? And we've worked with disgruntled franchisees who every time they talk about the franchise, it's something negative. Oh, the franchise didn't provide this. They didn't provide that. They kind of just left me hanging. But this is
Yeah.
the total opposite of that story. And that makes a great franchise, man. That's great to hear.
And I just want to tell you something. We want every franchisee to make so much money, because if they make money, they are also aligned with our incentives. So
Hmm.
usually, when you have a franchise system, the franchisor has to send all the food to the franchisee,
Hmm.
and that costs more money usually than the market money.
Hmm.
Instead, for us, we don't have a central kitchen. So all the products for the recipes, they buy them locally. Each franchisee, we will tell them what brand to buy, how to do the recipes, and they can buy them. And we tell them what are the negotiated prices that we have, so they can negotiate their own price. So their cost of food is even lower than every franchisee. Like if you want to get a chicken from Burger King, you have to buy the chicken from Burger King headquarters.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
might be more expensive than
Right.
if you buy the chicken locally.
Right.
So we want to make sure that the food cost of every franchisee is as little as possible. They have
Mhm.
control over a lot of things. As a franchisor, we help them with management, marketing, how to manage the team, how to have leadership, and how to grow the revenue by
Mhm.
doing marketing ads, by doing marketing strategies, by having
Yes.
like very active Instagram, very active Google ads, very active like online presence, because this is what's important. And
Yes.
also just want to make sure that we treat every customer as a king, regardless of what's happening. Even if the staff is right and the customer is wrong, our customer is always right.
Yes.
So this is
Yes.
like part of the culture, and we will go above and beyond for our customers. So
Right. Yeah, I love that. and I tell people that all the time, right? You may not believe that the customer is always right, but I want you to know that the customer is always right because your incentives are aligned. The
Correct.
customer is incentivized to give you money, and you want money. So, why are you arguing with the money, right? So that's great to
Exactly.
hear, man.
Exactly.
I would love to dive deeper into the marketing conversation, but I know we're, on a time limit here because
Sure.
marketing is what I do, right? So I'm happy
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hear
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that, you're talking about keeping your Instagram active, campaigns running, good content, which see you guys have. You guys have great content on the Time Machine Cafe page on Instagram. So yeah, man. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you all day, doctor. I do not. I do not. But I want you to tell people where they can find the time machine. I know you have a lot of different locations, but tell them where you can find them, and tell them what they should come and enjoy.
Sure. So Time Machine, you can go to thymeMachinesCafe.com. You write time as in Thyme, and we have all the locations over there. It's always being updated. We offer catering and we offer a franchise product. So you can go to the franchise and try to inquire, and our team will get back to you. And again, we serve authentic street food, Lebanese, that is only done in Lebanon in the farthest villages. And we would love to give and share this experience with everyone.
I love that. I love that. Well, let me know when you're back in Miami because I want to come by for a shawarma, please.
We would invite you, and we would love to give you this time machine experience so you can travel back in time and eat from our ancestors' food.
I love that. And I would love that. That would be a great experience. Well, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy your time in Lebanon, and I'll see you when you get back to Miami.
Thank you, Anthony. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take care.